Alright, so it's been 6 months since the last episode of In the Shop with StanceWorks, and I'm sure as you guys have seen, 2020's been kind of a wild ride so far. From everything happening outside the shop to everything happening right here within it, it's been non-stop for 6 months straight. We've made a ton of progress on some customer cars, but also some good progress on the StanceWorks shop projects. I'm excited to get you guys caught up because the story begins all the way back at the beginning of the year. I finally managed to get the M3 out on track, and not only is it a blast to drive, it's pretty fast too. Now, before making my way to the track, I did make some aesthetic changes to the car. For anybody that remembers the last video, the car was covered in old stickers from the late 1990s, and while it's cool to a degree, I really felt like I'd enjoy a clean slate a bit more. I used turtlewax's label and sticker remover, and it pulled the old adhesive off incredibly well, and the white paint underneath is actually surprisingly nice. The car's looking better than it ever has before. With that done though, it was actually time to drive the thing. I took the car out to 2 track days in a single weekend, the first of which was at Buttonwillow's 13 clockwise layout. I've raced my E28 there many times, and my previous personal best was a 2:06:05. So that's the time to beat. And I'm happy to say after just one day of driving the M3, I've already broken that with a 2:06:041, almost breaking into the 2:05s. And I know there's a ton of time left in the car, maybe even as low as a 2 flat once I really learn what the car needs and how to improve my own skills too. The second day, I managed to take the car out to Big Willow at Willow Springs International Raceway, the track where they say the boys become men, and I'm inclined to agree because it's absolutely the most terrifying track experience I've ever had. I did manage to put down a 1:28 though, a time I'm really happy with considering it was my second time driving the car and my first time at the track. It's not all great when it comes to the M3 though, because after getting it back I discovered that the engine burnt both exhaust valves on cylinder 3, meaning the head is now off and taken apart, being rebuilt by Don and the boys at Motor Machine in Carmichael, California. I'm hopeful that the cylinder head will be back come Monday, and I'm going to get the car back together and back out on track because it's prime track season right now. It's not the only project around the shop though that's received some attention. In the last video we did, you saw my recent purchase, the Hummer H1, and I've done quite a bit to it as well. The most notable of which is a set of 40-inch Nitto tires, which the factory wheel wells swallow with no problem at all. It's gotten a 2-inch body lift and a ton of maintenance as well. I recently took it off-road up near Lake Isabella in Kern County. Now, it barely fits on pretty much every trail we went down, earning pinstripes on both sides with seemingly every single bush we passed. However, it's wildly capable, and it's everything I've been hoping for out of this truck. Camping in it was a dream come true, and I'm really excited to take a longer trip once this whole COVID-19 thing settles down. So last but not least is the attention that I put towards the Model A. As you can tell, it looks a bit different than it did before. I coated that original dull gray patina in a coat of oil, and it brought it to this deep, shiny black. Well, sort of shiny. It finally matches the original nose cone, and as a whole, the truck finally kind of looks complete. At least since doing it, no one's asked me when I'm gonna paint it at least. But it's good that it finally looks this way because it's closer to finish than it's ever been. About a month ago, I finally got the truck onto a dyno, and I'm thrilled with the results. Check it out. So the truck put down 730 wheel horsepower, or 730.2 to be precise. They say that that last 10% of a build is the hardest part, bringing all those details together to have a fully fleshed out finished vehicle, and it's true. But now that this truck is finally kind of done, I get to drive it, I get to enjoy it, I get to do anything I want in it without the fear of blowing it up or knowing that the suspension tuning is finished to the point where I can drive it with confidence. And so that's exactly what I've been doing. finally finished, it's time to go on to other projects. We've got our work cut out for us here at the StanceWorks shop with plenty of customer cars and some big projects of our own, including the one behind me, right here under the cover. So stay tuned, and at some point you'll get to see this one too, but until then, well, you'll just have to wait.